Today we're driving the 2023 Range Rover SE long wheelbase. This is the 7-seater. You can tell because of that massively long rear door. Look at this thing. It is an absolutely stunning SUV. From the 23-inch wheels to the flush door handles, the way this thing is designed, it looks like a concept car. It is just an amazing SUV to behold. Starting price on this is $135,000. This is spec'd up to about $153,000. This has a 4.4 liter turbocharged V8 from BMW. Makes 523 horsepower, 553 pound-feet of torque. That's made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission with a 2-speed transfer case and, of course, air suspension, all-wheel steering, and many, many more features that we'll talk about in this video. Let's hop inside, we'll start it up, walk around the interior a little bit. Exterior is painted in Batumi Gold, very sharp looking color. Interior is all Caraway. Wow. Land Rover has not skimped on interior materials in this Range Rover SE. It is absolutely stunning in here. These seats, incredibly comfortable, very well bolstered, tons of adjustability. Let's bring that 4.4 liter V8 to life. So, very familiar looking infotainment and switchgear here, shared with a lot of JLR products. Here's all of your seat adjustments. You can go into a more detailed menu, adjust shoulder, bolsters, lumbar, get into massage functions. We have wireless CarPlay, Android Auto, a pretty nicely organized and attractive looking infotainment. It can be a bit slow to respond sometimes, but for the most part, it's worked okay this week. Everything in this Range Rover has a nice, soft touch to it, a little bit of a delay. Even the windows, the way they roll down, they take their time. They do it softly. Look at that. We get a massive panoramic sunroof, grab handles, sliding visors. Look at this dual visor system. So you get all the sun blockage you want. Also, a digital rear view mirror. Plenty of cameras to see while you're parking or off-roading, which is nice. Always like to see that. I mentioned earlier that this Range Rover has air suspension. Right now, it's slammed on the bump stops and access height mode all the way low so that you can get in and out of this very easily. You can also raise it up into off-road height for maximum approach and departure angles. Let's see what that looks like on the outside. Air suspension works pretty quickly in this Range Rover. Look at that. Pretty good. Let's start in the back, take a look at rear cargo with that third row up. There's a little bit of room back here. Of course, you get the split tailgate. Nice. You've got tons of seat controls back here. You can fold down everything all at once. You can fold down just the 2 rear seats. Everything kind of moves forward to accommodate that process. And then you get a ton of rear cargo. But we want to put that third row back up because we want to see what it's like to get back there. Love these door handles. Just really something to behold. Not as spacious as you would necessarily think in a vehicle like this. In the back, still plenty of room, but it's not cavernous in here. Front seats, very comfortable. Rear seats, I'd say just about as comfortable. We don't get as many arm rests back here, but this being a bench layout is a bit more functional. Here's what your cup holders look like. A little bit more storage right there. Heated, ventilated seats for the second row too. Let's access that third row, see what that's like. Should be able to hold this button and it'll pull everything forward. There we go. You can even see the front seat moving forward a little bit. Nice. Pretty easy access into this third row. And then once you're back here and you want to put that second row seat back, all you do is just hold this button right here. And there you go. It all takes its sweet time. And once I'm back here, I'm pretty comfortable. Got air vents, plenty of headroom, heated seats, a couple USB ports, water bottle holders, all the comforts of home. And also, I guess, move these seats forward and back with these buttons right here. That's probably a little bit more accessible for the third row passengers. There we go. Gosh, look at this door. It is just one of the biggest doors in the business. This and the door of the Rolls-Royce Cullinan were just enormous, and this kind of reminds me a little bit of the Cullinan. It is so comfortable, so luxurious. Look how high up this air suspension went. Pretty ridiculous. Let's take a look under the hood at this 4.4 liter V8. Maybe we'll put this back into access height mode so we can see what it actually looks like. Doesn't take long. Rated for 16 miles to the gallon in the city, 21 on the highway for about an 18 mpg combined rating. It's been surprisingly fuel efficient this week. I've been averaging around 20-21 in kind of mixed city highway driving, mostly highway, but a good engine. Very quiet, very smooth, and a good amount of power. You can spec your Range Rover with more power and pay more money, but I think this is kind of the perfect balance of everything. I don't think I'd really be wanting for much more in this. Wish you can get these up into the $200,000 plus price range, but honestly, for the money, this is a pretty nice Range Rover. All right, we've gone over some of the basics. Let's take this for a drive and see what it's like on the road. This steering wheel is massive. It really does make you appreciate that you are piloting quite a large vehicle. Auto stop start does engage every time you start the vehicle. You can easily turn that off in the menu here. Effortless power from this 4.4 liter V8. Sounds good too. Sorry, we have a ton of mosquitoes in the cabin here. We're gonna just open these windows for a second so I don't get destroyed during this review. There we go. Hopefully that's all of them out of here. Oh yeah, we also get rear window shades. I will say, happy to report, there's no wind buffeting at speed. I love the operation of the windows in this Range Rover. Tons of isolation here. Very little NVH. The focus here is on comfort, not on performance. The air suspension is maybe some of the softest air suspension I've ever felt. It's encroaching upon Rolls-Royce levels of quiet and comfort in this Range Rover SE. It's pretty impressive. We get adaptive cruise control. Not a huge fan of these steering wheel buttons. Would like them to be a little bit more clearly defined. But there is lane centering It works well enough. There are definitely vehicles in this price point, in this category, that have better self-driving tech. Even at 80 miles an hour on the highway, you can barely hear any wind and road noise. I think the most impressive thing about this Range Rover is just the level of isolation that it achieves on the road. There isn't a lot of steering feel. There isn't a lot of suspension feel. You go over pretty large bumps in this, and the car just soaks everything up effortlessly. Even at low speeds, it's pretty amazing. This 4.4-liter V8 remains very quiet, very smooth, very much in the background of the driving experience. Actually, we'll go left. We do get some drive modes: Eco, Dynamic, and then of course all of our off-road settings. Let's go to Dynamic, see what that does. Much more aggressive throttle response in dynamic mode. Pretty quick off the line too. Whew. Really aggressive in dynamic mode. Spinning the tires off the line there. Paddle shifters. Whoa. This does not like to be hustled. I'm alright with that. To be honest, this is the first time I've pushed this car on a corner all week. It's been mostly driving like an old man in this Range Rover for me. I've got to say, I've really enjoyed living with this Range Rover this week. It took me a little bit of time to get used to just the level of isolation and softness that this vehicle provides. But once I did, I really began to appreciate it as a luxury vehicle. I mean, this is kind of peak luxury SUV in my opinion. This is more comfortable and more luxurious than the Bentley that we had not too long ago. It really does kind of encroach upon Rolls-Royce territory almost. It takes away the focus on sportiness and performance that so many luxury SUV companies tend to focus on these days, and I don't really think it's the right direction for something like this. I love that the focus here is on comfort and just complete isolation from everything around you. The design is absolutely stunning. This is just a gorgeous, gorgeous car to look at, especially when parked with the door handles all flush. It's pretty wild. This has true body roll. The way it just goes down the road and soaks up every single bump, it's unfazed by anything you run over. Unless if you hit a really big pothole, yes, then the 23-inch wheels with the skinny sidewall tires do complain a little bit, but otherwise this has been completely unfazed all week by anything I've put in it. We've driven down dirt roads, we've driven down very rough Michigan paved roads, which are arguably rougher than some of our dirt roads, and it's been in the rain, it's been, just in every situation, it is unflappably luxurious and comfortable and just nice. Meridian sound system isn't bad. Let's park this, walk you guys around it one more time, and we'll test that at the end of the video. little bit of rattling going on from those back seats. Pretty common in any 7-seater vehicle. Also, check out this turning radius. That's the magic of four-wheel steer right there. Just incredible. A lot of settings in this Range Rover. You can really get in deep with all of the customization. Set this to automatically lower to access height whenever you stop. A ton of features that you can just enable or disable in this Range Rover. Door handle location's a little bit strange. It's kind of set far forward. It looks good in the door design, but it's a bit of a reach sometimes getting out. Oh, we've got to show you guys what the taillights look like. Yeah, I just can't get over the design and how clean some of the lines are on this SUV. Okay, it doesn't like having the parking lights on. I understand. Infotainment, everything fires up pretty quickly in this. Let's go into our sound system test track and give this a listen. That'll give you guys a little taste. If I had any complaints about this Range Rover, it would just be that I wish there were a bit more responsiveness from this car. I understand they're trying to really make this comfortable and isolated, but at the same time, there's a lot of throttle delay off the line. Infotainment could be faster. I really, really want more immediacy from these new infotainment systems. It's 2023. These screens all act like they're from 2010 or 2003. You know, I haven't really tested any automotive infotainment system with a good touchscreen, except for what Tesla has, honestly. That's about it. It's kind of the gold standard these days. And for $153,000, I would expect just a little bit better response time from something like this. I do like the infotainment. It's nicely organized. I would appreciate some more physical controls, but ultimately, once you get everything set up and figured out in this Range Rover, you're not going to go into many of the deep menus for anything except for maybe turning off stop-start functionality or something like that. Otherwise, pretty great SUV, pretty phenomenal driving experience. One of the most luxurious vehicles I think we've been in ever. And for the price, when you compare it to something like a Rolls-Royce, or a Bentley, it's a bit of a bargain, which is kind of hard to fathom, even for $153,000. I don't really know what else you would want from a more expensive version of this Range Rover. Yeah, it's pretty phenomenal. We'll end on that note. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm going to go drive this a little bit more and just experience what British luxury is with a German powertrain. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.